the only one.
We're all three here, so. And we have a copy of the minutes from the last meeting, March the 12th. Anybody have corrections, additions, deletions? You want us to vote on the minutes, you'll need to accept the minutes, okay? Since it said draft, I didn't know.
They always say draft until I get them put in the book.
Okay, when they are in the book, they'll be the first and after. And the only visitors we have are me, so, medical student and one of my office staff. And, the medical schools kind of want us to, bring medical students to anything that we're doing for the community, so he's here to learn. And new business,
All right, so for new business, I handed out a sheet there for the new demolition program proposal. The current one ended at the end of March, and the council asked for your all's input on this new one. So I've kind of put together a baseline for a new program going forward, and if you all want to make any changes to that, we can pencil those in and you all can vote to approve it, and then I can submit that proposal to the council. So the last one, the demolition permit for residential was $150, and they had free duct fees. A renovation permit was also $150 for free duct fees, and they both lasted 90 days. This one, for residential, for a full demolition permit, I suggested $500 for the fee, and then the duct fees would be waived, and they would still have 90 days to complete the project. Any debris brought in after that 90 days will be charged full amount duct fees. And then for the renovation permit, I suggested a $300 permit fee that would include free duct fees for the project. But I thought that with a renovation, it usually takes longer than a demolition, so extending that from 90 days to 120 days. And then after that 120-day period, anything brought in after that would have to be paid the full amount at the transfer station.
I wouldn't be upset with 180 days, because it's hard to get much accomplished in less than 6 months.
Are we seeing a lot of people taking advantage of the program?
On the demolition side, we've issued about 60 permits in total, and I think maybe 3 or 4 have been renovations and the rest total demolition.
Are they mostly residential or commercial?
Most residential, but there are some commercial that have done it.
What's the current, well, not the current, but the previous program, what was the permit fee on it?
For residential, it was 150.
Even though this is not as cheap as that, I mean, these are very, I think they're reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, they're still saving a lot of money.
Yeah,
Because you tear down
a
a
lot.
house,
A lot.
you're looking at about anywhere from $45,000 in fees at the transfer station. You know, some of them might be a little bit less than that we've seen come through, but on average, it's around $4,000 or $5,000. So they're still getting a lot of savings out of it.
They don't get done in 90 days. Another $500, or you give them a cut.
Well, they just, anything that they bring in after the 90 days, they have to pay at that point to dump it.
Full dump, I mean, full fee of the dump.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if you get a different.
Well, hopefully on a full demolition, it's gonna happen at one time, hopefully.
Yeah, we put the 90 days on there to give them time to get everything in order and then weather and things like that. Most of them get it, they're done within 2 or 3 weeks. Some of them, they get it early and then they wait for a month or so before they start. But on a full demolition, you're looking at 3 to 5 days and it's done.
So can they reapply for a permit? If it's close to expiring, can they reapply and get another one, or?
I mean, we can add that in there
I don't think it's a
if they want to redo it and pay the full 500 to get. I can write that in if y'all want me to.
That's still, I mean, if they pay the 500 twice, that's still cheaper
I think it gives them motivation to have to get it done though in that time frame.
Yeah.
than it does.
So let's clean it up, get it going, and so we don't have to pay it.
I'm trying to remember what I paid for one, roll-off dumpster when we were cleaned up from the tornado. And I'm thinking that was $800 for, and that was only one dumpster emptying of it.
I was, like, I paid $500, and I see 90 days, I'm not gonna get it done. Then I got to pay full price. But if I've got a lot to do, I'd be better off buying another $500 permit, or have a discount on that second 90 days. That's what I was getting at. You know, I mean, the cost of the dump fee on some of the stuff is almost $500. If you've got a lot of weight, 2 or 3 loads, you've already used your $500, so. You've got a big project out here trying to get something cleaned up, a lot of weight, a lot of, you're taking brick, concrete, you take all that, debris from like trees and bushes, and is all that included?
Well, I mean, it's for the structure because trees and bushes and stuff, they don't charge for that inside the
So,
city.
I mean,
anyways.
$500 per cheap, you can get it done in 9 days.
So we could put something in there, permit may be renewed at full price and say they can only do it one time per property or put a number
Well, I
on it.
mean, the more I think about that, you really want, I mean, we want it to look nicer on here.
Yeah.
And if you too much, could look pretty bad for one of them.
Yeah, but
But
like
then
if they
again,
start
it depends
on
on
it,
the amount or how big the job is also.
We can do it case by case, case per case, you know. I don't know if you, I mean, a regular house, you can get, like I said, you clean it up in 2 or 3 weeks and be done. But you take a 2-story house or a lot of property, $500 is cheap, but they can't get it in 90 days, but due to weather or due to the lack of help or whatever reason, you know, if I still got a lot of debris to haul off, I'm gonna wait if I need to pay another $500, or if I will just keep paying the regular dump fee.
Or if,
I guess that's the way they need to look at it, I mean.
or if there's really extenuating circumstances, we could advise them to extend it, but then somebody's gonna have to make the determination, is that really extenuating circumstances valid?
I'm good with this, this is a baseline.
Now, should they have already had the property tested for asbestos and other things that have to be abated before they come get this permit?
well, I mean, that's up to them. The thing about it, if it's less than 2 structures being torn down at the same time, the state does not require them to get any testing.
So we're just making a recommendation, basically, is that what you want from us?
Yeah, we're just gonna send a recommendation of the new program to the council and they'll be the ones that make the determination yes, or they'll send it back asking for changes.
Make a motion to accept this.
Well, I mean, like I said, we can change anything you want to on here, and then vote on that with the changes, and then we can submit that recommendation to the council.
Now, we probably need to think about if we want to,
When does their program right now expire?
It's already expired.
Okay, so something be in motion.
And the resolution will have an inspection included, right?
Yeah, it'll still have the same inspections and everything that the other, there's a pre-inspection and then a post-inspection. So basically, it's gonna be the exact same format, it's just changing the fees.
Right now, we have mobile homes, so this residential will include mobile homes.
I think we include all of it, you know, I mean, instead of having all these different ones, just, you know, if it's residential, it's residential, if it's commercial, it's commercial, and
This would, price fair, and
right,
this is reasonable, they want to renew it, so they renew it, go on.
So you think,
so
you
we're,
want an opportunity to get a new permit and
Should-
renew.
if we do a renewal, should we put some other stipulation on it? Because if they get one for 90 days and then they start on it and then they don't finish it, and then they say, well, my 90 days is up, so they come and get another one, and then it's still, all this debris is still laying there. It's almost worse than it was in the shape before, because then you got wind blowing everything around, you got more of a safety hazard.
Now, and I understand the 90-day limit, I get that.
so we probably do need to consider whether we're gonna allow them to renew it one time.
But I'm almost wondering if we shouldn't say, you know, it can be renewed up to one time for the same piece of property or the same structure, however. But instead of 500, maybe 750. And that gives them a little bit of incentive to get it done in that initial 90 days. Because they know they're going to pay.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah. We don't have to do that, we'll vote on
Are you gonna change?
Well, we need to get through the whole thing and then vote on if that's what, you know, if that's what y'all want to see, and then I'll just type it up with the changes and then send that as a recommendation to council.
Well, it'll actually have to be in the form of a resolution. It'll have to be in the form of a resolution.
Right, at the council, but we can send a, I
Yeah, we
can
can
send a recommendation to the council.
Yeah, use it as a recommendation.
So do you want us to formally vote on
Yeah.
it? Okay.
So-
That's what I thought.
So do we want to change the renovation from 120 to 180 within 6 months? Because that's mostly
I'll make a
going to be
motion.
internal anyways. Well, you won't have to make a motion until we get through the
Okay.
whole thing
Alright,
and then do it all at once.
Okay.
okay.
So on the renovation, we want to go to 180 days and keep the same fee, 300.
it.
And do we want to do any kind of renewal on it?
Well, in keeping with that, we could make it 450.
One-time renewal. Okay. So is that all we need for residential? All right. So going on down to commercial, the current, or well, the one that just ended was $150 for every 1,000 square feet of floor space for free duct fees. So on this one, it says commercial properties are usually larger and it's more of an expense on the city to do it. We were doing a full demolition permit for $500 up to 3,000 square feet of building space, and then $50 progressively for every 1,000 square feet thereafter. And this will include dump fees for the project debris at 50% of the rate to dump it, and then the 90 days to complete. So basically, they still have to pay a dump fee, but it's only 50% of what the normal cost is.
Now, is there anything in there considering hazards, if they have a hazardous, renovation or demolition of something that might be?
We have in the actual demolition permit, there's a section in there talking about what we take, what we can and can't take at the transfer station, no liquids or hazardous materials
So
or
we can
asbestos.
have here and they got taken off someplace else.
Yes.
We're not, that doesn't include, that's not included.
No.
Tom, I have a question.
All right.
What are the, typically, what we see, just kind of roundabout, the size of the commercial buildings that are doing these?
What we've seen as far as the demolition of commercial has not been real big. I mean, the majority of them have still been houses that have been repurposed as commercial property. We've got the one over there behind Flingers that they just tore down.
There's a flower shop there.
Yeah. I still think at one time that was a residence before it was a business, but I'm not real sure.
I was 10 when it became a flower shop, and I don't remember past that, what it was.
Then we had one of the buildings on East Main Street that was demolished. It's where it was 3 storefronts, and they tore the one in off the end that was really bad shape.
We're looking at smaller commercial properties. For the-
Yeah,
West Lane, you mean?
yeah. Did I say east? Sorry.
You said east.
West Main, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're right there next to the old,
What, the old dime store, I think, used to be in
there,
there?
a dime store, a furniture store, some kind of hardware store.
Okay, yeah, they tore one of those off.
Right. Gibson's.
Well, I don't have an issue with this commercial property. I mean, is there anything you want to add or take away from that?
Just in my experience renovating, and I was pushing as fast as I could push them, it's hard to get something done in less than 180 days.
Which I can go ahead and change that to the 180 as well for the renovation.
So if we renew it, right,
Still 750.
Somebody's saying there's something commercial, we don't build something back, they want to get it done, you know, thing.
It,
Or a house, and I just clean it up, but it's still a lot.
I didn't know if we're, are we gonna go
No, I
up
need help.
the fee if we remove it, the way we
They're on the
I'll
residential.
control it, okay.
Keep it 500,
No, the renewal 750.
Be effective until
Renew, give them an opportunity to renew.
when I looked at it, I was thinking it was starting in, it said 24, not 25.
and 450.
same as
It's the
residential.
same as residential on the renewal? Okay.
Do I hear a motion to approve the demolition program proposal with the listed changes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
I've got in contact with them. It's just kind of her getting help. I'm 90% sure that the park itself has evicted her, so it's just getting it off the property, and that's not really on us, you know.
Somebody that representing I don't even know who opened it.
They're out of town.
Yeah, well, I was down there working on the board, and some guy hollered at me. And, we got to talking, and he said, well, somebody's filed a complaint. I said, you're looking at it. I said, that makes sense, there's already a little more stuff on it. I mean, it's just sitting there like this.
Yeah,
It's not a good wind, it'll always
yeah.
be easy to clean up in. Somebody is that way, or, but you, I mean, you got to.
Yeah, I've been in talks with her. She sent me an email maybe a month ago. So
No, that's not what he was
yeah,
down there checking on a few things.
he was very on it, if you will. He came into the office, met me, and everything. So
Okay, I just, no words.
yeah.
Thanks for that. Thanks.
Yep.
Anything else?
Old business,
The old business, we had Central Avenue property last meeting. It's been demolished. The yard's been cleaned up, seeded, and so and everything looks nice over there now. There was Central Avenue. Then the property on the square that we had been dealing with for a while, they made his renovations, and the property is for sale right now. It's advertised. And then the property on Junction Street with the dilapidated house trailer in the backyard that's fallen over. The gentleman had a demolition permit. It expired. He did not get it done. He contacted me yesterday, and I spoke to him about it. And he asked about getting another permit. And I said, well, the program is expired, so you can get a demolition permit. It doesn't cost anything, but you'll have to pay 100% of the dump fees on it. And he said that he would be willing to do that. So he just got his permit today. I'm just basically going to keep a close eye on him, make sure he gets it done. If he doesn't, then we'll just have to order demolition, and then if they don't get rid of it, then we'll have to take it upon ourselves.
any other old business?